we are now sponsored. And that brings me into the actual purpose of this video, which is to announce that we are taking a $50,000 funded challenge. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time that you're tuning in, my name is Lewis, and all I'm doing is documenting my trading journey. I'm not a guru. I am not a professor or some form of teacher. I am literally just documenting my progress as a trader. I've been trading for 5 months, and I have something very, very important and exciting to announce. We are now sponsored. And that brings me into the actual purpose of this video, which is to announce that we are taking a $50,000 funded challenge. The prop firm that we were taking this challenge with is TopStep. I will walk you guys through the website and everything, but I want to talk about the opportunity that I've been gifted with by my friends at Tektronics.com. They are the sole reason why this series is even a thing. They have decided to sponsor the series, and specifically shout out to Michael at Tektronics. He is the one who made this thing possible. We connected, and something that I've always been able to tell is when somebody is a genuine person, and I could just tell off of his energy and the conversation that we had. Even after the business meeting, we just sat there and talked about life. That's something that you can't fake. You can't really fake a genuine aura, I guess is the best way that I could really explain it, but I could just tell he has a good heart. He's a good person. And yeah, let me walk you guys through the website and talk about everything, because I'm extremely excited for everything that's going on. And yeah, let me just not talk about it. Let's head right into the websites and let me break it down for you even more. Right now we are on the TopStep website. I wanted to show you guys the challenge that I am going to be taking. I'm going to be taking the 50K challenge. Since this is my first time switching over from Forex to futures, I decided to go with the low-hanging fruit first before I start going for these bigger challenges. But I did do my research, and I found out that the top traders in this industry usually just go for the 50K challenge and get multiple and then have a trade copier. So that's maybe what I'll end up doing in the future. But right now I'm just focused on this 50K challenge, and this is actually the first challenge that I've ever taken in my trading career in terms of funded. My number one goal is to obviously pass it, especially since I have sponsorship and it's being backed by somebody who believes in me and my ability as a trader. This is the challenge that I will be taking with TopStep. I will show you my TopStep account that shows all the data from the trades I took this week at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around for that. Now let's head into the sponsor of the actual series, and that is Tektronics. So we partnered up to bring you guys this series. It's going to be very interesting because it would further along both our goals in terms of their company and what their goal is, and my company's goal in terms of trading and my content creation, which I'll talk about more as we get deeper into the video. But first thing I wanted to say is, as you can see right here, this is the website. So Tektronics.com is where you want to go to be able to find all their products. And I just got off the phone with Michael right before I started recording this video, and he has informed me that the website is going to have a major update probably after you guys see this video already published. They are going to be working very hard because he's telling me that they have a bunch of stuff that is not even on the website yet. So this is just a preview of what's to come. There's so much more that he talked to me about that I can't disclose as of right now, but it's definitely coming up in the future. But this is what you can see as of the day that I'm recording this on Friday the 17th. So what they focus on is being able to build the best quality setups at a budget with the best quality parts that are available in the market. So as you can see here, we're running down through the setups that they have in their Nova Strike collection, which is their gaming collection. And I will talk about the next part, which is the part where we integrated the Lewis Visuals brand and the Tektronics brand. So like I said, the Nova Strike collection is mostly geared towards gaming. And if you go back into the home section and you go right here where it says the perfect trading setup, he has built a perfect setup that is not only for traders, but also it can be used as a workstation. As you can see here, this is the specs of the actual setup with a very reasonable price. Trust me, the setup that I have right now, I wish I would have met Michael earlier, because this is an amazing setup for this price. I paid almost 5 times the price of this for my setup right now, and he's even going to help me upgrade my setup because I want to make sure that I have the best possible setup and the most power to be able to run smoothly, because you guys know that I not only trade on my setup with the double screens, but I also do all my content creation, do all my research, and that takes a lot of, especially once you do the types of videos that I do in terms of my edits. I have a very special edit that's coming out very soon. I am working on it right now, but this could be used as your workstation. You can use it for graphic designs, you can use it for editing, you can use it for 3D work. This works perfectly for that. And that's not the only thing that he has available for you too. He also told me that if you go into the contact us section, as you can see right here, you are able to get into communication with them where quoting is available, meaning you want certain specs in your computer with certain components. They will be able to help you out with that and give you a very reasonable quote for the amount of work that it takes to build the actual PC, but also for the parts themselves, helping you find the best quality parts at the best prices. And this is all including a 1-year warranty. I came up clutch for you guys, and I was able to come up with a discount code. If you use the code RTFLV, you would get a 10% discount at checkout. The RTF stands for Road to Funded, which is the name of this actual series, which I will be working my hardest to actually become funded, because just elevate my trading, and I think it's just part of taking that next step in my trading journey. Once again, man, shout out Mike. It was a pleasure working with him. I could tell that he has a good heart. So if you guys are looking for a computer setup, you can also get help on the website by writing a message. They will get back to you as soon as possible. Make sure you follow them on Instagram at Tektronics PCs. It popped up over here, and it is also in my bio, so make sure you check them out, show some love. And like I said, if you want to get a 10% discount, make sure you use my discount code. I'm sure it already popped up here in the video, and it's also down in the description. But yeah, shout out to them. Now let's get into the actual series and see how I did my first week trading futures. I've never traded the indices before, so this is a learning process in itself, and I had a very good week in my opinion. Could have been a little bit better, yes. I made some beginner mistakes, I guess you can say, but I'll walk you guys through it. I actually started the challenge on Tuesday because, like I said, I don't trade Mondays. One, because they're low probability, and two, because I want to use it to gauge how the rest of the week is going to go. Another reason why I didn't trade this Monday is because I wanted to get used to trading on TradingView instead of going to another app. I took the TopStep challenge with TradeOvade, which allows me to trade on TradingView, which is just so much more convenient because I don't have to be switching apps, because I do trade while I'm at work. The experience has been golden. It's been beautiful, very smooth. So that's why I have these trades over here. I took these trades on a demo account. I ended up getting profit from both these trades, so I used it just as a way to learn what I was doing. But let's get into the actual trade that I took on Tuesday with my actual funded account. Tuesday we had news at 8:30, and as you know, with futures, there's a lot of volatility that's introduced into the market at 9:30, so you want to wait till after the opening bell to look for a setup. But sometimes in the pre-market, there are setups that do end up showing themselves before market open, and then you can use the volatility at 9:30 as a little bit of an extra push, but it could go either way, honestly. So as you can see, I was bullish coming into this day just because of the higher time frames. This is a market maker buy model. On Tuesday, I just knew we were going to end up drawing higher either way. So let's go back to Tuesday. This is what it looked like. Okay, so on Tuesday, and I will show my executions as well, because with TradingView, I am now able to show you guys my actual executions apart from just plotting where I took my entry at. Beautiful entry on Tuesday, honestly, a sniper entry in my opinion. Yeah, we had a lot of volatility, and I'm trading on the 1 minute off of the 15 minute. So as you can see here, so this is exactly what ended up happening. We had a 1 hour sell side imbalance under price when I came into the market. So as you can see here, right coming right into 8:30, there was a big move down with this big move to the downside, which ended up just clearing all sell side liquidity that was in place. But what that actually ended up doing was taking out these lows from Friday, and I just took that as a buy signal. I waited to see what the market was gonna do, and this is what I ended up seeing. I saw that we started coming up. I entered on the first fair value gap that I saw, which was down here, and like I said, this was before market open, so there was a lot of volatility around 9:30, as you can see right here, where this moved down, but ended up going in my favor after that and surpassing it way past that as well. So yeah, this is the fair value gap that I entered from. Tapped it once and then started to go away, and then I set a limit order because I noticed it. I was in the 5 minute, I believe, before I noticed it, but I went down into the 1 minute and then I saw it. I was like, okay, there's an order block right here, which price did come down and touch the wick of that, kind of propelled price. But more importantly, we had this buy side imbalance on the 1 minute. The trade ended up being almost a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. As you can see, there was a lot of volatility. I stuck with it and it ended up playing out and going even further, as you can see later on in the day. I didn't take a second trade during the PM session. I only took one trade this day because I gotta win. What was the point of me giving the money back into the market, or having the possibility of giving the money back to the market after I just got my first win on my first day trading futures? But as you can see right here, I'll show you on the 5 minute as well. This is what I ended up seeing on the 5 minute, which kind of confirmed or gave me an idea that price was just gonna end up going higher. But as you can see, we ended up forming a 5 minute buy side imbalance and then coming back down, filling it in completely, but the bodies told the story and price reverse went up to buy side liquidity. After that, I was done for the day. I wasn't paying attention to price, but as you can see, price ended up coming back down. 3 consecutive down close candles, order block, started pushing price higher, came back down, touched it again, and then just took off. And I'm pretty sure Powell was talking at 10 a.m. so that's why there was so much more volatility later on in the day. But that is the trade that I ended up taking. I'll show you guys my executions right now. I don't know what's going on. It's not showing me my executions. As you can see, it is on. It should be showing me my executions, but it's not showing me right now. I don't know what's going on, but I will show you at the end of the video either way. And I do have a screenshot of the actual execution, so I'll make sure that the screenshot of the execution comes on. But like I said, I took my long right here and got out at these highs. I actually held a little bit higher, so I got out at like these highs on this candle, and then I was just done for the day. But let's move on to Wednesday, which I wanted to show you exactly what ended up happening on Wednesday. I wish I had the executions on to be able to show you you what happened on Wednesday exactly, because it's not showing me. I don't know why it's not showing me the executions. Maybe because the market's closed. I'm new to this, so I'm not too sure. Let's move on to Wednesday. So on Wednesday, this was price action for Wednesday. I will show you the higher time frames. Wednesday was a very bullish day. As you can see, you have my execution here, and I'll explain it exactly when I get back into the lower time frames. But Wednesday ended up going up and hitting the all-time highs on NQ. So I wish I had my executions, but I guess I don't. I do have actual proof. Like I said, I took screenshots, so I'll show you guys the screenshots. It popped up already for Wednesday, but I believe I took 2 trades on Wednesday, and my first trade was a bit too early, which I did write that down in my journal. I thought that it was extremely early for me to get into this trade. For some reason, my bias was just incorrect. I believe I entered short on this fair value gap, thinking price was going to come all the way down here, but that didn't make sense. On Wednesday, what my problem was that I was paying too much attention to the 1 minute time frame. Yes, I'm executing on the 1 minute time frame, but you want to always be aware of what's going on your higher time frames. On this day specifically, it was the 15 minute. If I would have been paying attention to the 15 minute, I would have caught a crazy sniper entry on this trade, but I wasn't paying attention to the higher time frame. So let me show you exactly what was going on Wednesday. Like I said, my first position, I took an L. I got in this fair value gap. It started going down a bit, but then ended up taking me out. After I did that, I decided to just wait. I was like, okay, let me just wait and see what happens. I just kept watching price, and then I saw price started going higher. When I first saw price going higher, I believe I was actually off the charts for a little bit, and then I came back. Once I got back into the charts, I was still on the 1 minute. Once I got out of the 1 minute and went back into the 15 minute, and this is what I saw, which anybody with a trained eye could have seen, that it was respecting the consequent encroachment of this buy side imbalance. As you can see right here, it came down, tapped the consequent encroachment of this buy side imbalance, but then look at the wick and look at the body. The body told the story. Once I went back into the 1 minute after I noticed that, it was already too late, because it had given me 2 opportunities to get in a little bit lower than what I actually did, but I got in at a very good entry. Can't be mad at it. Little to no drawdown, as you can see right here, but this was with a limited order entry. I had opportunities to enter at lower entries, but let me show you what it was. So the first entry was off of this buy side imbalance right here at this candle at 10:02, which was also an inverted fair value gap or balanced price range. You can see right here, balanced price range. Price took off after that, which I definitely would have entered from. Then we had another opportunity right here with this fair value gap, or this buy side imbalance right here. Another entry would have had my stop loss under this low, and the RR would have just been crazy on that trade. But this is the trade that I actually ended up taking, which was on the 5 minute. I decided to be patient, and it ended up paying off. So I saw this, which is the unicorn model, a bullish breaker with a fair value gap. So you can see high, low, higher high, or consolidation, manipulation, distribution at its best. I entered off of the breaker. What I had to do after I entered was just leave a runner on this day, since it was Wednesday after news, high probability day with all-time highs pending, which was the actual target. I could have left a runner to all-time highs, and it probably would have got up there in the afternoon, but I don't know if I would have held till we got to the all-time high. But either way, I could have left a runner. As you can see, there was a lot of range that I ended up missing because I closed out my whole position, but I can't be mad at it. But yeah, this is what ended up happening. So we had a high, low, higher high, and then as soon as we came back down into the bullish breaker, I noticed that there was a fair value gap right here on the 5 minute, which was this very small fair value gap, but it ended up just being enough to fill me in, and that's where I entered off of. I entered off of there on the same candle that I entered in. Price just took off after that, going all the way up into my target, which was some highs from over here on the left side, which if I would have just been paying attention as well, I could have honestly done this and see how high it could have gone. Hit the -2 on the fib, and even later on almost ended up hitting the -2.5 later on in the Asian session. Who trades futures at that time? Nobody. Just grading the manipulation swing, I could have had my target to the -2, and as you can see, hit that to the T almost, and it would have been a crazy RR. But yeah, I ended up taking profits around here. Since I'm new to trading futures, I wasn't sure if I should have held through New York lunch, because my mentor says don't put on any trades during New York lunch. So I never knew if that was don't put on actual executions or just don't hold. Now I know, asking in my group chat, which is what you want to do. You want to get people who have more experience than you, that if price is heading straight towards your take profit and is going into lunch, leave it on, because this could happen. It could also go down, but that's the risk that you should be taking. So I could have just closed one more of my contracts. I think I took 3 micro contracts on this day. I closed one of them above this high and then closed the last 2 in this consolidation, but I could have held, as you can see, up to there, and it was already getting late, getting close to 12, so I ended up getting out around here, and this move down was literally only fill in a 15-minute imbalance, which I can show you as well. This is the consolidation on the 15-minute, ended up coming down, filling in this imbalance, and then going all the way up. That is what happened on Wednesday, but Wednesday, straight up bullish day, straight to the all-time highs. You can see crazy price action. Now let's move on to Thursday. Thursday was the worst day of my trading week, and the reason for that is because on Thursday I broke all my rules, and it takes a lot to come out and say that because nobody wants to say that online, especially as a trader. But I'm trying to build a brand off of just being honest and showing you what it really takes to become a trader. As you can see, we were consolidating basically all morning. See, we were coming into here. I had buy side liquidity lined up. What ended up happening actually on this day was that I closed my position by accident. Being new to trading on TradingView, and yes, that happens. Sometimes you misclick, hit the wrong button, enter the wrong position, enter the wrong size. It happens. We're human. And that is exactly what happened to me on this day. I'm gonna show you my initial position, which would have been golden if I would have not closed out by accident, but hey, it ends up happening. That started the spiral of just bad decisions after that, which I journaled down, and I've obviously have to keep working on just to stay on top of, just so I don't do it again. But all I had to do was be a little bit more patient, and I would have been able to get back into this trade and not miss the move, which was exactly what ended up happening. It was FOMO. It was fear of missing out, because I had a very good trade idea this day, and if that one position wasn't messed up by me closing by accident, I would have caught the whole move, and I lost the money that I ended up losing on this day. Either way, this ended up being a winning day because, you know, risk to reward and good risk management will do that for you. But I broke all my rules. I said it in the group chat. I said I didn't think I deserved the money that I ended up making on this day because, like I said, my risk management allowed me to make more than I ended up losing. But when you break your rules, it doesn't even feel like you won that day. So as you can see, we had all these relatively equal highs after this consolidation. We never came up to clear the buy side from Asia, and the move down on the news ended up coming lower, which there was SMT with these 2 moves. So if anybody caught this short down, I don't know what they would have targeted, because me, honestly, I would have probably targeted this low down here or the actual buy side imbalance. But let's get into the 1 minute so I can show you exactly what I ended up seeing on this day. So I ended up seeing this. I can't remember exactly where I entered, but I had one position early in the morning, which I said was too early, and I had to correct myself. I wrote it down in my journal, but I had one position where I think it was right here. It was this, right? So I entered long right here, which was extremely early, especially after a sweep of liquidity. What I've noticed is that after a sweep of liquidity, stuff like this will end up happening, where price will go up, making people think that it's gonna end up going higher after the sweep of sell side liquidity, and then it just generated a bunch of liquidity down here. So it'll come down, take that liquidity, and then go up. I entered a long position in this buy side imbalance because I thought, hey, now we're gonna start heading up after we took out sell side, which ended up stopping me out. I think I had my stop loss right below this low, and as you can see, it ended up taking me out right away. But after that, I was like, okay, let me just be a little bit more patient. I decided to be a bit more patient. I saw that there was an SMT with these lows, so that's why I decided to just wait until there was a fair value gap and enter on the first fair value gap, which was right here. This was my first entry. I had limit order at the premium end of this buy side imbalance, and then had my stop loss below this low, and then my target was buy side liquidity from the Asia highs. It was a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio, which would have paid out very handsomely, and was the actual full move of this day, as you can see. But as you can see, we had this happen, and I ended up closing out my position by accident around here, which, you know, I took profit, but then I started to FOMO, and I'm like, dang, I'm gonna end up missing my position. I'm gonna end up missing the move. There's a lot more left to this move. Buy side liquidity is still up here. I'm gonna end up missing it. Enter this consolidation, and I forget exactly what, I think it was off of this order block that I entered from once we came back down. I entered off this order block on the 5 minute, and then I forget where exactly I had my stop loss. I think I had my stop loss below these lows down here on my new position, and then I still had the same target. But what the price do ended up coming down aggressively. It was fast. It's something that I had to learn, I don't want to say the hard way, but I had to learn it. It was extremely fast. It wouldn't have taken out my first position, so I wouldn't have lost what I had lost this day, but it ended up taking me out of the second position, losing almost all the profits that I had made from the first position. So then I thought, okay, I was a bit confused this day as well, because we had a 4-hour buy side imbalance down lower, which is this blue box. So I said maybe the draw is down there. Switched my bias, and then entered a short position. So entered a short position on this sell side imbalance, which was already a mistake because I already broke my rule. rules of 2 trades per day and then reduce risk. I think I did reduce the risk, but I'm taking too many trades already. So I was like, why did I do that? I'm not sure if it's even gonna go down. I didn't get a sweep of liquidity, and then I went to go check on ES, and ES took these lows and Q didn't. So I said, dang, it's gonna go up. I ended up closing that position in the negative, losing even more money, and then just watching price after that. I was like, I need to be more patient. I'm done trading, because why would I take that trade? There was no reason for me to take that trade at all. And then I saw this beauty pop up, which was another unicorn model. The unicorn model was going crazy on the 5-minute this week. As you can see, high, low, higher, high. We ended up forming a breaker with a fair value gap on the 5-minute, and that is exactly what I entered from. As you can see, there was a little bit of drawdown, but that's normal. And then I was gonna target buy side liquidity, but I was like, no, let me just target a 1 to 2, and that's exactly what I ended up getting. 1 to 2. I wish I had the execution, like I said, but I have a screenshot of the day. What I'm gonna end up doing is just whenever I take trades, I'm just gonna have the executions pop up on my phone so I could screenshot it and then save it for these occasions. But as you can see, this is the second trade that I ended up taking. I ended up making my money back and then some, but I should have not even done something like this, because at the end of the day, what was the point of taking that trade? There was really no point of taking that trade at all. But yeah, if I would have just been very patient after losing that one trade, I know that there's gonna be another opportunity to enter, because this is a market maker buy model. And again, consolidation, manipulation, distribution, all I have to do is pay attention to that to be able to catch the next move. Just be more patient next time and make sure you don't hit the wrong button, because this would have never happened if I would have had my first position available. But as you can see, this is the price that I had to pay, and I took accountability. I wasn't gonna end up doing all that and not take accountability for that day. But let's move on to Friday. Today, Friday was crazy because I just didn't know what was gonna end up happening. I took 2 trades today and lost both of them. Small trades, didn't risk too much, but low probability. There was an amazing trade that ended up showing up at the end of the day, but I was at the barbershop getting a haircut to look handsome and sexy, but I ended up missing those. And then I missed this entry here as well because I didn't know what price was trying to do. And yeah, as you can see, order block entry, fair value gap on the 15-minute. And then I was just very confused today, because in the beginning I had missed this 5-minute sell right here, this 5-minute sell lower towards these lows, and then targeting the consequent encroachment of this 4-hour fair value gap or buy side imbalance. But I ended up losing that trade. Then I took another trade. I think I went long somewhere, and then ended up probably in this candle right here, and ended up coming back down and taking me out. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna watch price. So then I ended up watching price, and as you can see, relatively equal lows over here, and then just range bound for most of the morning, and then until the later in the morning and into the PM session, where it just ended up collapsing. But that is the price that I paid. And then we had that awesome move up, which I ended up missing on the 1-minute with SMT. Shout out my boy Mo. He was the one who put me onto it, because like I said, I was at the barbershop. But they took this trade right here. As you can see, we were coming down into this 15-minute buy side imbalance, and then they just waited for a market structure shift. They entered off of this fair value gap, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was a breaker entry as well. High, low, higher, high with the fair value gap right here. They entered here, stop loss below this low, and then they targeted the 1.5 on the fib, which I don't have here, but it was basically to the tick. It was perfect because they measured the manipulation candle to go down into the point of interest. But yeah, on this day wasn't too much. Took 2 small trades, ended up losing both of those trades, and then had an opportunity to take another trade right here with SMT on ES, which ended up coming down below these lows for a small scalp. Fridays and Mondays are low probability, so probably what I'm gonna end up doing if I trade on a Friday, because I'm not gonna trade Mondays, but if I trade on a Friday, it's gonna be mostly scalps unless I see an A+ setup like the one that I just showed you down here. But that's mostly it. Now let's get into what I wanted to show you guys, which was the actual count on the TopStep, and show you how much profit I ended up making. And if I didn't mess up, I would have been up 1% on this account in the first week, but hey, it ends up happening. Let's just see how it goes in the future. But as you can see right here, the average trade win is $206. It would have been a lot higher. This is honestly not the best representation of my trading week. As you can see, we had 6 trades on Wednesday or Thursday. On Thursday we had 6 trades, which, you know, it just didn't help. You can see all the numbers right here. This is not the best representation. I'm gonna try to make sure that the next one is better. But as you can see, the highest that I got the account up to was, you can see it up here, the high was almost $400. I could have had way above 500, which is 1% of the actual account if I didn't mess up on Thursday. And then if I wouldn't have traded today, Friday, which I probably wouldn't have done, because I had one Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which is why I give back profits or even risk if it's not a high probability setup. But as you can see, these are the stats. I don't think this is the best representation of what I can actually do in a week, but I kept my risk below 1%, and that's really all that matters to me. As long as I'm risking less than 1% of the actual account and I keep trying to win, we'll end up seeing what happens. But thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, thank you so much to Tektronics. Make sure you follow them on Instagram. Use my discount code for 10% off, and make sure you follow me on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share with a friend who is in their trading journey, and stay tuned for the rest of the series because I am going to seriously try my best to pass this combine. That's all I really have to say. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.